How to find your who. We talked about how in the TV show 13 Reasons Why, the main character, Hannah Baker, went to her guidance counselor as her last-ditch attempt to go get help before she did something drastic. In the TV show, we see that it didn't go the way that she had hoped. Mr. Porter, the character, did not lean into her the way that she needed him to. He made some judgment statements. He didn't quite clue into what she was saying. And I think that when I watched the Beyond the Reasons show on Netflix that kind of talked about why they made that decision, they were saying, the guidance counselor didn't really have the skill, the character didn't really have the skill to listen at what wasn't being said and hear the cues spot on. I think that's very common. I think a lot of times when we're in pain and we're sharing our story, we're not always being point blank. We're not always saying exactly what is happening. There's a lot of testing language that happens. Like you're trying to see if they're really clued in, if they're really listening. Plus, sometimes it's just really hard to talk about the most difficult things that are going on in your life. There's times that we just don't have the language. We don't have the words. So even when we go to someone and we're trying to ask for help, it's a very foggy interaction because sometimes the person listening doesn't always lean in and catch everything, and sometimes we don't present the information exactly the way that we need to because these are hard things to talk about. And so when you're thinking about how do I get healing, what are the reasons behind my pain? What are the reasons why my story is hard, why I've lost hope? It can be very daunting to think about going to someone and talking about your story. There's going to be these questions in your head going, are they trustworthy? Are they going to betray my confidence? Are they going to get it? Are they going to blame me? Are they going to tell my family members? Are they going to tell people I don't want them to tell? There's a lot of fear and trust and confusion, and it's a big deal. Like, it's hard to know where to go first. Here's a couple things that you can look for when you're trying to consider whether or not to talk to somebody. Number 1, have they proven themselves trustworthy before? So I'm not saying go around and test people. Don't be catty. Don't be gruff. Don't push someone around just to see whether or not they're going to pursue you afterwards. But try to think about people that have lent a helping hand or made themselves available. In the TV show, you could see these little moments where there was an adult who said, hey, I'm here for you, or, you can come and talk to me. One of them that was great was the basketball coach is talking to Clay, and he's saying, where's Justin? Is he in trouble? At this point in the show, Clay's like, I really don't know. And the coach just kind of stops and says, tell him that I'm here for him. And it was genuine. Now, there was another moment when Jessica Davis's cheerleading coach kind of reams her out because she's late to practice and whatever was going on in her life was going on. And the coach basically just says, you're late. If there's things going on in your life, you can talk to me, but today you're benched. Okay, that's not helpful, right? And so you got to kind of weigh out, where people dropped a hint that they're there for you. Look back, but do so with eyes wide open. Really ask yourself, is there any hint that they really are there for me? And then you got to take a risk and you got to go on a limb to be there, to be present, to share a little bit. The second thing that you can do is consider if you've ever shared something before and they've held on to it and they've been trustworthy with that portion of your story, that portion of your life situation or whatever it is that's going on. If they were faithful once, there's a good chance they're going to be faithful again. Number 3, there are people set in place for you to talk to. I know we all long for a friend or a caring adult or a mentor or someone to really just lean in and pursue us and make sure that all of our fears are taken care of before we reveal our story. But it takes courage to go out there and just reveal your story first. But there are people put in place to be able to listen. Although the TV show depicted a guidance counselor as not quite being the right thing, that is still an option. Don't discount your guidance counselor just because they depicted one who didn't quite have the skill needed to lean into Hannah's story. There are teachers, there are coaches, there are caring adults within the school system, within the community system, within sporting programs, within churches, within community activity groups. There are people who genuinely care for teenagers, tweens, college students. They are out there. A lot of them took jobs where they're going to be around young people because they want to be there for them. Not all of them. We know that there are some crazy teachers out there. But there's a lot more people than you might realize who will lean into your story. And then lastly, there are lots of hotline numbers. It can seem a little bit like, it's a hotline, and there's maybe some stigma or taboo thoughts about calling a hotline, but it's actually a good thing. These people are trained. They know how to lean in. They have some of the skill that I think Hannah Baker was looking for when she went to Mr. Porter, and he just wasn't quite getting it. But people who are put on hotlines have to go through courses, have to go through training, have to understand what to listen for, and to walk someone through how to make a positive life decision instead of a destructive one. There's a bunch of hotline numbers in the description of this video. Do the risky thing. Start thinking about who you can talk to, and then challenge yourself within the next week to figure out what day and when you can make that first call, make that first ask, or just go up to someone and go, "Hey, can I talk to you?" It really can be as simple as that. I believe in you guys. I know it's scary. I believe you have what it takes to just lean in to that opportunity that's out there for you and say, "Hey, can I talk to you?"